Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Evan Better Presents. Today we're going to be looking at Prison Architect. You wanted it, you got it. We're going to be planning out another cell block. This cell block here is going to be probably the last addition to this prison before I do a Let's Play. It's been mostly for getting used to the way the game works. That sweet license plate money. But this is going to be a big one. It's going to be the biggest one yet. This is a test cell block. I don't know if I want to build giant cell blocks like this one. I don't know if it'll be a good idea or a bad idea. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Doing some measurements here of my original one. This game, now that Alpha 12 is out with the Contraband, it's a freaking whole new adventure. Absolutely. It's considerably a lot more work now to make sure that your prison isn't contaminated with shanks and poison and mops and irons and screwdrivers and other weird shit. I'm definitely going to have to modify my layouts a little bit to make sure that going forward, you know, these jokers aren't snatching up everything that I've got. And it definitely makes things a lot more difficult. I have been installing a lot of checkpoints, which really do help a lot because it doesn't allow the prisoners to escape back to their prison cells with any of the items without walking through a metal detector and automatically being flagged. So that really does help a lot for sure. As you can see here, I'm building two entrances to this cell block here. It's going to help. This is why you use the planning tool, people, because this is expensive to do with foundation. I mean, this is going to be like a $30,000 foundation build, let alone adding the stuff for the cells themselves. And again, like, I'm not sure it's going to work. But this hallway here that this is going to connect to will be, it'll contain a new security checkpoint, as will that one in the top right that I'm attaching to the cantina area. And the main reason for this is that, like I said, the contraband is now a bigger issue than it was before. And you really have to watch for these guys sneaking off with stuff. So if you make it more difficult for them, the chances are that you won't have as many incidents where, you know, someone pulls a knife during a riot or an argument, or, you know, someone takes the other guy's shower and boom, they stab each other over it. So I'm going to do the same kind of layout because I find that these cell blocks that I've built with the prison cells, common area, and a large shower are pretty much the most effective way that I've been able to do things so far. Like, hands down, it causes the least amount of issues. You know, each one of these are 5x5 with a 3x3 area. Gives the prisoners a lot of room, I find. You know, you can fit in there. You can fit in a TV or a phone or a workbench if you want to. I choose not to give them much more than just a TV because I find these maximum security prisoners, the more shit you give them, the more shit they decide to break, and that just costs you repair bills. So keep stuff in the common area. When they want to go and have relaxation time, they can go to the common area and do it. So I'm sticking with the 3x3. Again, I don't like people who build these prisons where they're trying to fit in hundreds and hundreds of prisoners into a small space. That just invites problems, and we've all seen videos of it happening again and again and again. All my cells are spaced out 3 feet from the wall. And I'm going to continue the theme of alternating entrances into the cells. You know, each cell has a door on one side, and then the next cell has the door on the other side. The reason I'm doing this, it's an important reason, is that it limits grouping. You know, the guys come out staggered from their prison cells. They go to the shower, and they're staggered. You know, not everybody gets to the shower at the same time. Not everybody leaves the prison at the same time, the cell blocks. Everybody goes at different paces. you gotta leave that space. I find when prisoners all start getting when they're in need of something because they just woke up and they have to use their, they have to use the toilet or they have to do something else. When they group up, oh boy, you're just asking for trouble. So I haven't really decided what I want to put right in this spot here. I'm thinking big cells. At this point, I haven't really decided. Just gonna make some bigger cells for these guys. Maybe it could be the common room area. Maybe I build 2 different showers. I'm not really sure yet. But, like I said, giving these guys lots of stuff in their cells, we'll focus on it in a little bit more. The cells that I built, the little luxury rooms that I built at the southwest side of my prison was an experiment to see how well that would work. And I find the bigger the room, the more stuff you give them, the more stuff they just break. Now that may not be the same with all prisoners, like minimum security. I actually have since converted them over to minimum security just to see if it will allow them to be, will the minimum security guys behave better in there? I haven't really figured it out yet, so I swapped it over. I'm going to do a little testing. If that's the case, then that's what that'll stay. In my new prison, we're gonna try for just maximum security prisoners. You get the most money for them. They cause the most problems, and they. I mean, oh, if you saw my valuation of my prison, I'm something like 85 unsolved murders. I have a fine of like $2 million or some shit like that. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And it's mostly my fault. I was tinkering with the regime. Like I said, I've been trying to practice stuff since this is my first prison. Bell Rev, this one here is my first prison, so I've been testing it out. We'll figure it out eventually. We'll get it perfected. For right now, I'm going to put these into solitary confinement. These will be solitary confinement cells. There's 4 of them there. There'll be 4 on the other side. Nice big showers. Try to have at least as many shower heads as you do prison cells in each cell block, or at least keep it close to it. That way you can guarantee that the prisoners aren't going to be fighting over who gets a shower head over that for that 1 hour that it is shower time. And we'll see later that it's still got a lot of alpha issues, but it's getting better, this game, for sure. There we go. The new shakedown is a pretty cool little feature. There's it's quite fun to watch the amount of contraband that your prisoners, even with metal detectors, I don't know if they're going to introduce like sniffing dogs or something like that, or some kind of other advanced screening technique, because right now, my guys, anything that's not metal, they're sneaking it back. Narcotics, mops. Some guy stuck a mop up his ass somehow, and he smuggled that back to the cell. Narcotics pills from the infirmary. There's no real way to stop them from stealing stuff. Like, even though the cleaning cupboards are there, I was worried that the poison was going to get stolen out of them very often. I've had maybe 1 or 2 incidents of poison being stolen. Most of the time, they don't bother to steal the poison. They're big on the narcotics. Forks and knives is a huge one. Huge problem with forks and knives. Scissors and booze, which I think most of that shit is being smuggled in during visitation. The narcotics and what have you. I think the visitation time is causing me the most problems. So, I don't know. There's got to be, maybe if I keep an officer in the visitation room, that they won't be smuggling as much stuff in. I don't know. Again, it's alpha. There's still lots and lots to do before this game is finished. Either way, it's still incredibly fun right now even. But you can see right here, just getting back to my point, big entrances to the shower. This guarantees that guys are going to get come in, just like the canteen has got a big entrance, these have a big entrance. All right, now I screwed up here, and this prison block is 1 meter too long. And that's just my fault. It's 1 meter longer than it needs to be. So I've got a gap of 4 on that one side of the shower and a gap of 3 on the other side of the shower. Oh well, not a big frickin' deal. Not a big deal. But now I know. Now I know going forward. You know, so this is going to be my security checkpoint right here at the top. You can see the all the spots. And I'm going to put another security checkpoint right in here, just because these guys in the luxury houses over here on the left are kind of bypassing the security checkpoints, which isn't any good. So I got space for, I think it's 40 prisoners in there in this new cell block. And I mean, some of you might be saying, "Oh, what a waste of space! What a waste of space." Sure, I could probably fit 100 prison cells in there if I wanted to, but like I said, every prison cell, it staggers the way they leave the prison, their cell. The big shower, it keeps guys from grouping up in there and fighting over shower heads. You know, this is all thought out for a reason. And again, I've been testing it and learning. So I was going to make another security laundry combination. I'm not going to do that now because the laundries don't work properly when you make multiple of them. The prisoners take all the laundry baskets from one of the laundries and they leave them in the other laundry, and they never return them to the first laundry. So you end up with over amount of laundry baskets in the one, which then starts you get the warning about this laundry room needs this to be a proper laundry room. So again, it's alpha. There's going to be little bugs. There's going to be things like that. Eventually, I hope that they'll fix it. It'd be nice to have more than just one canteen, for example. But like we saw before, the chefs are too stupid to. Oh, I don't know if you guys ever did see that. When I first built this prison, I had 2 canteens. One over where the holding cell is. And then I built another one where the current canteen is. It looked a lot differently back then. But anyway. The prisoners would go to the canteen that had no food because the chefs would put all the food in one of the canteens, but use both kitchens. So I ended up expanding the prison to the current canteen you see here, and got rid of the second canteen because it just wasn't working. But anyway, so here I want to continue on. If I do want to expand any further, which I don't know if I will or not, I might start a new one for Let's Play for you guys. You know, I can, now that I know some of the quirks that are in Alpha 11, Alpha 12, our current Alpha, I know what to avoid, what not to do, and what works better than other things. Now, it's still an important feature is make sure you have a staff-only hallway that doesn't require guards to open any doors. You can see I still have a lot of doors, and I've left them all on open mode. There's a reason for this. Because I don't need the prisoners bunching up like they do. I don't want to have guards stationed every single 5 feet to open a door for somebody. But they're very important. When a riot breaks out, you wouldn't believe how fast the riot can spread. And since I have my guards distributed in certain areas here, I want to lock the prison down and keep people from spreading around. That's the reason for all the doors. And it's a little more expensive, and it's a little unnecessary. But I've had to lock this prison down a couple of times because of disputes that turn into riots really quickly. And it makes a big difference. Big access to the yards. You see that there? I've got 4 doors to that yard. That's intentional. That's intentional because it gives the prisoners multiple routes in and out of the yard when I force them into yard time. And I force 1 hour a day, everyone goes to the yards. That's why there's also lots and lots of different yards. Each cell block has its own yard. That's an important point for that. That's intentional. Because when you get a lot of prisoners into the yards, you can see they're all going to shower time right now. This is where most of my problems happen. This is where you have to watch your regime. You have to, because you can see not everybody is getting a shower right now. Not everybody made it into the shower and has a shower head. That's fine. You can see all the little individual cells everyone's using their shower, but the big main cells, not everybody has a shower head right away. So what happens here, it works out okay because there's only like 4 or 5 guys who are waiting. Then they swap out, and they go for a shower, and some people don't want showers. See, some people put metal detectors entering their showers. Biggest stupid move you can possibly do, because you see these guys, see how they're bunched up on the grates, on the drains? All it takes is one guy to smash one of those drains, like right here where they're having a fight. They break that drain, the water hits the metal detectors, boom. Instant fire. So here's what I was talking about, you gotta watch the regime. So now that everyone's had a shower, they're just stuck for like another half an hour on shower time. And a lot of them wanna go poo and go eat, and go run around and shit like that. So what happens is they get pissed off and they start to fight. And then a small little fight like this breaks into a riot real quick. So you got to watch that regime. Sometimes you got to cut shower time into a half an hour by switching it over to free time. It's not a big deal, and it generally allows them to stop this kind of bullshit. Now this just started getting a little bit more and more out of control. The next shower time becomes even more chaotic. But you can see here, this is another thing I don't like about these individual cells. I can't see what's going on. Now look at that. This guy grabbed a club he had a club smuggled in, beat my guard down, and now he's killed him. Now he killed my guard before I could spawn in more guards and my other guards could get there. Now look at this asshole. He steals the keys. He got apprehended pretty quickly, but he stole the keys right there. If I hadn't spawned in those guards, boom, they would have gone. So the metal detectors are definitely doing their jobs, because you can see a lot of little, search icons on these guys. Like, look at that. There's a couple guys right there. Here's what I was talking about, the big entrance into the canteen. See, look at this guy. He smashed up his toilet and his TV because of what? For no real good reason. Now I have all this broken shit. Now it's going to cost me repair bills. See, there's a repair bill. Oh, I got to go see what's going on. Now you see those guys who smuggled in stuff? Some of them probably whipped out weapons and started causing shit. Now, a lot of these guys are being just decent. They just want to eat some food. They're just hungry. But what happens is they get grouped together like this and they can start causing big riots. Now, I got more than enough security guards in here to deal with this. Like I said, a lot of these guys are just here to have food. So I don't want to lock anything down. I don't want to bang up everybody and send them all back to their cells without eating. Because all it takes is one guy, these stupid nurses, not treating them. See this guy over here is not treated? You see how much stuff he had on him? He was like, he's hungry, he's taking, he has to go to the washroom, he's got 100 things wrong with him. Well, that's the guy who, when he gets out of this infirmary, gets pissed off because he's hungry and he wants exercise and he wants hygiene and he wants everything at the same time, and he causes shit. Those are the guys you got to watch out for. I'm just checking around. See, some of these guys have had some recent misconduct, and they're going to get searched for it. This is not a good idea to search people, though, I'm telling you. I didn't realize how much of a problem it would cause. But you start searching people randomly, it causes issues. They start to get very unhappy about that. And this is what I was talking about, these little condos. You see, he's got a phone, he's got his own shower, he's got his own TV, he's got his own toilet, he's got his own workbench, and he's got a big bed. And all that is just more shit for these assholes in maximum security to damage. So don't put maximum security guys in places like that. Like, some people will argue it, and they'll say, like, no, it makes them more calm. No, it really doesn't. It just causes them to smash everything up when they get into a riot. And now I have lots of damaged stuff versus small amounts of damaged stuff. You can see how I fixed that little girl bug. I walled them up. See in the garbage area? I walled up those two. I had another person come in the visitation get killed by their loved one. And the same bug, like the dead girl bug, same bug. The only way to get rid of them is to create morgue slabs with no morgue slabs in your morgue. The guards will put the bodies there and then wall them in. And then it's not a problem anymore. But you can see here these two stupid nurses, they never go to the guards across my entire infirmary. When I build my new place, I'm going to build it with a big centralized area, a big square, not a rectangle for the infirmary, and it'll be kind of like the shower. It'll be the same idea as the shower. See, so they'll come in the center. The nurses will be in there, and they'll interact with everybody who comes in. You can see here. Look at this. 3 working. He managed before my guards got in there. I couldn't see what was happening. My guards got in there. He'd already destroyed his workbench, the phone, the TV, the bed. He would have done the shower drains next and the shower head after that. Don't put maximum security guys in cells like that. It's just welcoming problems. Now, I don't know how these guys got in the kitchen. They shouldn't have been in the kitchen. I don't have kitchen jobs for prisoners. So you can see I don't have a guard in that area, and I'm going to put a guard there because too many guys are passing through here, probably getting flagged for contraband, and I'm not able to stop them. See, I don't have any jobs assigned to kitchen, so I don't know how those guys got in there in the first place. But I don't want them going in there. It's important to assign areas as staff only, because that's what happens there. I don't have the kitchens assigned as staff only, and well, we had guys sneaking in there. Now, who knows how many forks and knives they stole, right? You can see here I got 2 injured guards, and the stupid clowns don't go there to heal them up. So I got to manually send them over there. So, again, it can be all forgiven. It's alpha. I'm not going to complain that much. I like this game. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, this is my first prison, Belle Reve. It's been pretty effective for learning the ins and outs of the game and the idiosyncrasies of it. Like the laundry room issue, the canteen issue. The solitary confinement rooms are bugged at the moment. Sometimes they use them, sometimes they don't recognize that they're there, and the doors don't. This is where I'm fixing them right here. You have to open the door and then close the door, and it kind of resets the room. I was finding that the guards weren't using them. For some reason, the doors were blocking them. They weren't used. So you do that, you fix that problem. Like I said, it's annoying. It shouldn't need to be done. It's alpha. So hopefully they'll fix it. There's lots of bugs that they have to fix. Now you can hear already there's more issues going on. Contraband being found. So I like to make sure that their needs are being met, and sometimes you have to switch up the regime. Any station guards, again, this is another issue. Station guards generally won't go to their infirmary to get themselves healed up. So if you don't take them manually, they'll never get healed up, and then they'll end up getting killed in the next fight because they'll be very low in life already. So sometimes you just got to go around, find all your injured people, and like that guy will never leave his post to go get himself healed up, so I'm just going to send him into the infirmary on his own. But overall, I mean, aside from the like 87 murders I've had in my prison, which that's what you get when you have all high-risk prisoners. It's just how it is. You're going to have people fighting and murdering each other. You know, you get the best things you got to do. Keep the contraband out of their hands. Keep them separated. Keep them staggered. And the fights don't break out as much. But it's good. I've been, this prison's run very well. I'll build a much bigger workshop next time because those license plates, they get me a lot of money. You know, I'm going to build the utilities is exactly how it needs to be. It's all segmented. You know, this one takes care of this one takes care of that one, this one takes care of this area. It works really well. The yards, I'm going to make sure I have bigger yards next time. Bigger workshop, so I can get a lot more guys in the workshop because those license plates, freaking ton of money. Bigger laundry room next time. You don't need a lot of work guys. The only time you need workmen is when they're building shit. The rest of the time, I find they're a big source of lag. There's like a memory leak on the workmen or something. And if you ever find that it's getting really laggy, delete all your workmen, sack them all, and it fixes a lot of the problem I find. I'll try and post some videos of it. I tried to capture the issue. I'll try and post some videos of it. But you can see here free time, or now they're on work. I've given them a lot of work. Most of the guys who don't have, they treat work similar to free time, where they'll just go back to their cells, and that's why I think the TVs are a little bit important, because during work time, if they don't have a job, they get a little restless, but they'll spend this time relaxing in their cells if they don't have assigned jobs. This is why the cleaning cupboards are important too. You guys might dismiss the cleaning cupboards. Oh, I don't want them access to poison. I don't want them access to poison. Well, I have 2 cleaning cupboards. That gives me 5 guys per cleaning cupboard. That's 5 guys per cleaning cupboard for jobs, and that means I've got 10 extra janitors, basically, during the 5 hours of work time. Those guys get a lot of cleaning done. It saves me on a lot of money because the janitors are expensive. You know, I gotta keep them paid. This is why I don't like these little cells. Right here. Same thing happened again. One random guy gets pissed off, fucks up this whole goddamn cell. So, it was a good experiment. They don't work well. Not in my opinion. I can't see what's going on. And it's harder for the guards to patrol and get there in time. And it's costing me a lot of money. Look at this asshole. This guy's just a dick. He's just caused nothing but problems. Look at that. He's assaults. All kinds of trouble. Look at that. Murder, destruction, contraband. He's just an asshole. If it was up to me, I would just throw him in the electric chair. 101 years. You're never leaving this prison, buddy. You're going to get murdered, or you're just going to end up continuously murdering people. You've probably killed 5 or 6 people in my prison already. See, that's what I was talking about the laundry. See how there's no more laundry baskets there? Well, now the laundry doesn't act as a laundry because the guards keep moving all the laundry baskets out. Or, sorry, not the guards, the prisoners. They just keep moving laundry baskets out, and then boom. See, this is why the checkpoints work good. See that? Those 2 guys got caught. You lock the checkpoint, and they can't leave that room. The guards catch them. That's why these checkpoints are important. It's work time. Now, like I said, people who don't have jobs, they act this time as free time usually. So they'll do some comfort, sitting down in the canteen. The guards also spend this time collecting the ones who aren't assigned to sections will collect prisoners, bring them to the infirmary. You know, it's big section of work is good. Makes you a lot of money, gives you a chance to get the guys working around there cleaning up everything like that. And they, like I said, they treat it like free time, but you can get these guys working at the same time. It's decent. I don't want them in the kitchens because I find that my regime doesn't work so well with the work time and the kitchen. It doesn't overlap well, so there's no point in doing it. So I'll add a couple more guys to the laundries. No reason not to. Anyway, so this is basically the functioning of my prison. I'm going to call it here. But thanks a lot, guys, for checking it out. And make sure every day is an even better day. All right, I'll see you guys soon.